Hi Reyna, so I want to add a little bit of an introduction to this video first and foremost. Firstly, if you're new to my channel, hi, welcome back. My name is Vijayreyna. If you want to join the Reyna family, just hit the subscribe button down below. Also hit the thumbs up button if you don't mind. And also my social media will be in my pinned comment section as well as the description box. So let's get that out of the way. Secondly, I was going to stitch in my TikTok. I made a TikTok stitching in Diva Star's video regarding Rachel Gupta. And I just want to say something first and foremost. If you decide that you want to go on Diva Star's page and you want to comment anything, I ask that you say things respectfully and kindly. I don't mind any of my Reynas clearing up misinformation. I think it's very important. But I do want to say that we need to do it with kindness and respect. I'm mostly talking to my Indian Reynas. I am Indian. और मुझे पता है आप लोग बहुत ही protective है रेचल के बारे में, लेकिन कोई like नफरत नहीं देना चाहिए उसको. Okay, please don't say anything that's really bad. Just why go to the naam leke, just be kind. Okay, so let's make sure that we represent our people and our culture very well, and let's not be bashers, and let's clear information up in a way that is tasteful, classy, and kind. There's no need to talk to do any like doing the most. Okay, additionally, I just want to make this very clear. This is not a Indian versus Philippines thing. I've already seen some people kind of like allude to that, but it's not. I just want to say that whenever you see someone from a certain country say something that's maybe ignorant or it's not correct or it's misinformed about another person's country or their queen or whatever, you can't take that one or two or even handful of people as a representation of the country folk. I've been to the Philippines. The Filipino people have been so hospitable to me and very kind, and I know that they are really great people. So please do not say anything bashful. I literally have my Filipino roommate right here next to me. So do not make this anything about the country or the country folk at all. They're very, very kind, and they're not represented by just one person on a social media platform. Okay. Mwah.
She's a Bollywood actress, pero hindi naman. Kasi she grew up in the US. I mean, she was raised in the US, she lives in the US, and I don't think that people really know her except for the fact that she won Miss Grand International. So, madami pa sana ako sasabihin pero wala akong boses, so may part 2 na lang, yun lang. Cheers!
Hi, Ate Diva Star. Kumusta po kayo? Ako po si VJ. So I am a Indian pageant analyst. Indians do not have access to TikTok, so I thought I would make a little video stitching this because I felt like there were some things that you mentioned, and I saw you mentioned a different video about Miss France and Rachel Gupta's drama, and I saw that there was some misinformation in your video, so I thought I'd clear up some things and add an Indian perspective to your point, because I love your content, I respect your content, but I do think there's some misinformation and some unfair points that are trying to kind of maybe mitigate Rachel Gupta's success or potential. I love CJ Opiaza as much as the next person. In fact, CJ Opiaza follows me on Instagram because that's how much I supported her. If you watch my YouTube channel, or if you even go on my Instagram page, which is the same, vijayreyna, you will see how much love I've given to CJ. So she's my favorite beauty queen, probably one of my favorite ever. Her along with like Stacey Gabrielle. So I love her a lot, and this has nothing to do with CJ, just strictly about Rachel. So I just want to clear up some things very quickly.
I grew up in a very, very small town in North India that you've never even probably heard of. 2 years ago, I started.
So yeah, that's the first thing that I want to address, because I've seen twice that you put out this narrative that she was not raised in India. She was from Jalandhar. Jalandhar is a part of Punjab, city of Punjab. My family's Punjabi, so we're from the same state as Rachel Gupta and her Sandhu actually both are. So I'm familiar with the region of Punjab. My dadi, or my grandmother, or my Lola's sister, her ate, was actually born in Jalandhar. So I have family that have roots in Jalandhar as well. So yeah, Rachel Gupta is from Jalandhar. Her family's from Jalandhar. I do think that she has maybe an estate as well in New York City, but from my understanding, she was raised in Punjab. She knows and speaks Hindi and Punjabi fluently, as well as read and writes them. As an Indian American kid, I can tell you right now that us Indian Americans seldomly learn how to read and write the language. It's not very common for people who are raised in the US of Indian descent to learn to read and write. That's something that Rachel Gupta can do, and that's a key indication likely she was raised way more in India than the US, even if she had some time back and forth. In addition, she speaks in that video how she went to Mumbai at the age of 18, which is very young. There was no commentary about Catriona being raised in Australia and then coming to the Philippines. So I think it's unfair to even try to use that against Rachel Gupta, which is what it feels like you're trying to do by creating this narrative that Rachel Gupta not being born in India means that no one knows her and she's a nobody. And I know that's how you kind of are framing it in that sense. As someone who has a background in communication and journalism, the way that you frame things really kind of skews how they're perceived and how they're narrated. And so, I just suggest that maybe make sure that your information is correct and that you are saying the right things. And this is all out of respect. I have a lot of love and respect and admiration for you and your work, so it's not me being disrespectful. However, at the same time, again, no Indians have TikToks. There's no Indian voice to speak up and correct these things that are misinformed. So I just wanted to say that because I think that Rachel, coming from the mouth of Rachel, is more reliable than coming from the mouth of a Thai fan. Second thing I noticed is this idea that she's not really known in India. So then who is she? How will she be received? Well, this was her arrival yesterday. So let's just see how she was received. As you can see, it was received really, really well, despite her, to your point, not being super famous in India. It is a country of 1.5 billion people, so comparable to other countries, it's the most populated country in the world. So gaining fame and success on any level is going to be exponentially difficult relative to other countries, particularly because Indians are not they're not a pageant country. They might be considered a powerhouse country, but they're not really a pageant country, I'd say, outside of Miss World, perhaps. So this is quite a big turnout for us. I'm very proud of it. I hope that you also enjoyed watching it as well. I love seeing CJ's homecoming. I thought that it was really amazing to see all the Filipinos gather behind her and support her, and she received so much love. So I hope that you also can give enough respect to be happy for Rachel and her success. And also, by the way, I am also part French. So if anyone thinks I have a problem with this France and that's why I'm making this video, incorrect. I actually have French heritage, so that would make no sense. But let me move forward also to say that it was actually so big, and this is not even her homecoming, just her airport arrival, that Noah got lost in the crowd. And you can see in this upcoming video that I'm going to put in here that Rachel Gupta's mom had to pull Noah from the crowd to come with Rachel because it was just so big. Last thing that I wanted to say is that a lot of the pageant queens are not famous before they win their competitions. This is pretty common. I'd say even in India. I don't think Kat was super well known before Bini Bini Pilipinas and Miss World. Pia before Bini Bini Pilipinas and she won Miss Uni. And same with our Indian queens too. It's no different, right? Pauline Vega, etc. So many Zozobini. So many queens were not well known until after they won the competition. So I don't think it's a big deal. She has had some appearances in some films, so has Harnaz, but neither of them were super, super well known before. But I will say don't underestimate what us Indians can do with our queens. Arguably, no one can contest the fact that Aishwarya Rai and Priyanka Chopra are the most famous beauty queens that have ever came out of any beauty pageant ever in the history of time. You will not find a queen that has the same net worth or the attention or the media pool or the international recognition as Priyanka Chopra and Aishwarya Rai, both coming from India. And Harnaz Sandhu just landed a Bollywood contract. She will be doing a first Bollywood movie, and it is with a really big and well-known actor called Tiger Shroff. Look into him. Both him and his father are both quite well-renowned in the country of India and in Bollywood, so I definitely encourage you to go ahead and check it out. And this is several years after, not several, but at least 3 years after her crowning. So, we might be a little bit slower to bring our queens to fame like other big pageant countries, but we do love our queens and we try our best to support them. Being in Bollywood and cracking into Bollywood is a lot more difficult in other countries' industries because Bollywood it rivals Hollywood in terms of size. Again, we're 1.5 billion people and we love our Bollywood films. So getting into the industry alone is super difficult, but we hope that you all will encourage Rachel and support her. Even if you don't support her, that's fine. We just ask that you don't spread misinformation. And remember that it's not about where a queen starts, right? I think a great example of this is Arbani Nola. I've always loved Arbani. I am from the same state and I am actually from the same city as Arbani. So I've got to meet her before she was even Miss Texas. She's such a sweetheart, although I didn't have a long interaction with her. And although she doesn't have following in numbers, we're seeing the growth of Arbani Nola and how much she's growing and how much she's being well received. And I love to see that for her. I can't wait to see Arbani keep going, but I would never sit there and comment and saying, look at Arbani, she doesn't have a big following, etc. That would be a little bit demeaning and not fair, right? So maybe Rachel Gupta right now is not the biggest Bollywood star in the world, but let's encourage for her success. And I hope to see CJ Opiaza also in films. Hey, even if she wants to come to Bollywood, us Indians would welcome her. We love CJ so much. We have nothing but a lot of love for CJ and we hope to see her success. At the Diva Star, I also hope that you don't take this video personal. Again, I have a lot of respect for you and admiration, and I wish that God blesses you with nothing but abundance and success in your channel channel, in your avenues, and in your industry. I'm nowhere near the same space as you or on the same level as you, at least at this point in my pageant analyst career, but I do admire what you're doing. I just wanted to clear that up because I think it's unfair that Indians can't clear these things up given that TikTok is banned, and we just don't have that opportunity. So nothing but love and blessings to you out there, and I hope that you have a really great day, God willing. And also, yeah, okay, adios. Moving forward, I also want to clear up some things that I maybe didn't address and I'm going to address right now. So first and foremost, I just want to say that I made a point in my TikTok video talking about Catriona Gray, and I talked about how there was no mention, no one, Diva Star is basically ridiculing or trying to emphasize not once but twice in her TikTok videos that she believes, which she's misinformed, but I don't know where she's getting this information from, but she believes that Rachel Gupta was born and raised significantly in the US and not in India. I'm a little bit confused where that information is coming from, but I also don't find it relevant, and I find it personally a little bit insulting. I'm only half Indian myself. My dad is from India, my mom is not, and I also was born and raised in the US, but I'm proudly Indian. I don't see myself as less Indian than anyone else. मुझे हिंदी भी आता है, मैं हिंदी में बात कर सकता हूँ, मेरे दादी दादा के साथ हिंदी में बात करता हूँ, मैं हिंदी को समझ आता हूँ, मतलब मेरी हिंदी परफेक्ट नहीं है लेकिन मैं कोशिश तो करता हूँ बात करने में हिंदी में। तो अगर मैं हिंदी में बात करेंगे एंटायर वीडियो के लिए, वो औरत मेरा बात भी नहीं समझ आएंगी ना। तो as you can see, and I'm displaying, like, you don't even have to be born and raised in India to know the Indian language or anything, but to read and write is a different thing. That's something that Rachel Gupta has that many of us don't, that were raised in the US. I don't see the relevancy of it at all, and I think it's very unfair. It wouldn't be fair for us to emphasize the fact that Kat was born and raised in Australia, correct? And she came at the age of 16 to the Philippines, and she's only half Filipina. It doesn't make her any less Filipina, right? Or any less capable of representing the Philippines. Catriona has done an incredible job and done such a classy job of representing the Philippines, the Filipino culture, and the people. And the fact that Rachel was raised in India and she's also full-blooded Indian and Punjabi, she's very, very proud of where she comes from. And very proud of being Punjabi, very proud of being Indian, and her mannerisms are very, very Indian. I wish that you guys knew more about India and could get a little bit more educated, because if you watch her in video and interaction, you would know how Indian she actually is in her mannerisms when she does namaste all the time, starting her speeches off with namaste. These are things that people who are not born and raised in India would typically do. Even me as an Indian American, I would not necessarily think of starting off a speech with namaste, even if I was representing India, perhaps, because it's not something that I do every single day. But she was raised in India, and so that's why she does it. It's not fair that, Ate Diva Star, that you keep bringing this up. I don't know what the relevancy of it is. I feel like you're trying to imply that Rachel is less Indian if she was born and raised in the US, which makes no sense. None of us Indians are ever pointing out the fact that, Chelsea Manalo, Rabia Mateo, Gazzini, Pia Wartzback, Catriona Gray, and Celeste Cortezi, Kayla Jean are all half Filipina. Kayla Jean was born and raised, I don't know if she's born, but I know she was raised in Northern California. She was MUPH Northern California for a reason, and no one is sitting there pointing that out when it comes to her stint currently at Miss Charm. So I advise, and I don't advise, but I request that you stop, one, spreading that misinformation, because it's just not true, and two, stop using it as a way to undermine her Indianness or her ability to represent India or to be loved by Indians. Obviously, Filipinos have received Catriona Gray and Kayla Jean with so much love and pride, as they should, and same with Arbany Gabriel. Arbany's also proudly half Filipina as well, and like Arbany, I'm also Asian American. We both are Asian American, and we both are also half Asian, and I think Arbany would also not find it really kind to mitigate or maybe demean her Filipinaness, as I would not find it nice if someone tried to mitigate or demean my Indianness only because I am one half Asian like Arbany, and two, raised and born in the US like Arbany as well. I think it's just an insult to any Asian American or any Asian that's not born within the country to think that we are not proud of where we come from, our motherland and our roots. We can't help where we were born. I'm grateful for the opportunities that my family has opened up for me, and I'm grateful for their hard work in coming to this country and building a path in the future for me as well. But I was raised equally to be proud of where I am from and my background, and Rachel Gupta is no different. You can just see how much she's proud of herself. So please, let's be kind and think about how it would be if you applied it to a different country, right? I don't think anyone would take it kindly if they said that about Kat, or if they said that about Pia, or if they said that about Kayla, or they said that about any other queen, right? Or VVV even, correct? So same thing with our queens from India. I'm only speaking up about this because there are tons of vloggers and pageant analysts that come from other countries, including the Philippines or Colombia or Venezuela. There's very few far in between of us that come from India. So although I am in the US, again, I'm so proud of my motherland that I feel like it just, someone has to be a voice and, you know, speaking up on these issues for us. And it's no hate, it's all love, honestly. I have a lot of respect for you, as I've said several times out there. So it's not anything of me trying to be rude or demean you. It's just me trying to clear things up because we don't have a lot of people that speak up for us in India. Look how ridiculed Hernaz was for her weight gain during her reign, and now we have this whole thing about Rachel having this face, according to you, that is mean and unwelcoming and unfriendly. I don't know, it's just probably her resting face. I don't really feel like it's a big deal, and I think we're taking things out of context. Also, keep in mind that whenever you are using, you know, fan pages, or you're using fans from Thailand or whatever, they can have their own agenda. Everyone has some level of bias, including myself, including you, including anyone watching this video. We all have some level of bias at the end of the day. It's inherently human to have some. So at the end of the day, I would just say that, you know, be careful of using fans as a reliable source. There is a pageant analyst who has over 500,000 followers, who is Latino, who made claims in favor of Rachel, saying that she's a very kind person too. Can we use them as a reliable source? Should I just start quoting people who have a high following and then suddenly, and credibility, and suddenly just say that, oh, it must be true because they said this? No, right? Neither you nor I have had personal interactions with Rachel, I'm sure. And if you have, I'm sure it's almost very limited to none. I guess there's also a portion of the video, according to my Filipino roommate, who speaks Tagalog fluently, was born and raised in the Philippines, and speaks it very fluently. That apparently it's a shock or a surprise that Rachel showed up to CJ's departure because she doesn't like to mingle or interact with people. I think wording, again, is very important when we're reporting things. I think maybe she's just introverted. You have to understand that, once again, I'll say this again, Rachel Gupta is not the top 9, she's Miss Grand. Her duties extend beyond anyone else in the top 10. Simply because when they get to go back to their hotel room or go to the mall and mingle and do things, she has appearances to make. She has to put on the high heels, keep the makeup on, go to the late night hours. She's done lives with Papa Noah, past everyone else in the top 10, and stayed up into the wee hours of the night, so all the way into the early morning. So just understand that also maybe she's just tired. She is like, what, 20 years old or something? So I mean, you know, cut her some slack. I don't know why we have to be so judgmental and pass judgment. You don't know her. You don't know if she's interacting with people. You don't know her past history. You don't know what she's done. You don't know if she has social anxiety. You don't know if she's been bullied. You don't know if maybe she's had an experience that makes her a little bit more hesitant to make friends. We don't know what her story is, right? So let's just not pass judgment too quickly and be open-minded. I don't think there's anything wrong with her having a resting face. I think it's different. And she was like, that's like a whole different topic, right? But she's not doing that. So, I don't know. Let's just be mindful, you guys. I hate making these videos. I'm not someone who likes to be involved in all this hoopla. And typically, I honestly would just ignore it and not say much. Especially because I've already made a video addressing some of the misinformation that Diva Star has made in the past. But when I saw it again, I was like, whoa, like this is kind of odd. And then some of the things that she said when it was translated to me from my roommate, I was kind of like, what is the problem? Like, why is there just so much dislike for Rachel? And based on the translation from your first video and your second video that I received, it's very much giving that perhaps you just want to see CJ win the crown and Rachel be dethroned. CJ is gonna win Miss Universe, Ate. she's gonna go on to Miss Universe Philippines 2026, Miss Universe 2026, and she's gonna win Miss Universe, just like Kat did. She didn't win Miss World, but she won Miss Universe. So, you know, let's just encourage CJ to live out her reign as Miss Universe, Miss Grand rather, International first runner-up, and she's doing an amazing job, and she was received so beautifully. So let's encourage her to keep doing stuff with that reign and that title, and let's look forward for her to join Miss Universe Philippines 2026 if she chooses to. And I know she's gonna win the Miss Universe Philippines, the Miss Universe crown rather, because she's CJ. She's amazing, incredible. We know what she's capable of, and we saw at Miss Grand that she's nothing less than a crown-worthy queen. So yeah, let's encourage her to do those things. If you want to support CJ, which I hope that you do, and it seems like you do, perhaps focus on CJ and less on Rachel. I don't see you reporting positive things about Indian queens like Karna Sandhu making it for getting her first Bollywood contract. So, I mean, it'd be one thing if I saw you reporting objectively about everyone and unbiasedly, but it sounds like you only have something to say about Rachel when it's something negative. And that's why, unfortunately, I had to come up here and speak out, because it's not like you're saying anything that has to do with Rachel's success or her achievements. You're just trying to undermine her and make it seem like she's a loser. But, you know, there's a reason why she has the 4, or according to Nawat, 5 B's actually, and none of them are L's. She's never taken an L because she's only gotten the crown. She's the winner. Like RuPaul says, you're a winner, baby. Okay, bye you guys.
Hello stars and hello fellow pageant lovers. This is your Diva Star. Very successful nga ang naganap na homecoming parade, diba? Or welcome parade, diba? For our Miss Grand International first runner-up CJ Opiaza 2 Sundays ago, diba? Pero prior to that, of course, nagkaroon siya ng stand-off sa Thailand, and nandito nga kanyang dalawang Miss Grand sisters, si Amy, at surprisingly, lalabas ko aking teapot, ay nag-appear bigla kasi parang wala talaga sa plan. And all of a sudden, nagkaroon ng appearance ang Miss Grand International Rachel Gupta. Na ngayon naman ay nasa India na para sa kanyang sariling Grand Homecoming Parade. Abangan natin yan. Tingnan natin. Diba? Pero, yun, according to a very reliable Thai source, o isa sigurong solid fan ito ni CJ sa Thailand. Yun nga, parang medyo mga na-shock or na-shock yung mga andoon kasi parang wala talaga sa plan. Kasi nga, diba, it was already established na hindi mahilig makihalubilo or makisama-sama ito si Queen. Diba? Kaya nga siya nabansagang drama queen. Meron pa siyang bagong title, Make Face Queen. O, diba? Akala niya siguro, hindi siya nakikita ng mga tao surrounding her. But she likes doing, making faces pag hindi niya gusto yung mga ganap. Diba? So, sana maging successful din ang iyong homecoming parade dyan sa India. Though I know, hindi ka masyadong kilala dyan. Though, ang claim niya ata, di umano ha, she's a Bollywood actress. Pero hindi naman. Kasi she grew up in the US. She was raised in the US, she lives in the US, and I don't think that people really know her except for the fact that she won Miss Grand International. So, madami pa sana ko sasabihin pero wala na akong boses, so may part 2 na lang. Yun lang. Cheers!